Yes, some associations sell some cheese on metal concerts, so that's maybe something.
Honestly, at some point, Drew came to my house, so because we had to track one song and finish writing it, and we spent 1 hour rushing the song, and we spent the next 3 hours playing Elden Ring.
Welcome, YouTube.
Hey,
We're now live on
Hey.
the internet. This is the no money required part of tonight's Anatomy Crosscast session. Not sponsored, but featuring the Hot Ones dab, man. I just had some of this on a Jack in the Box taco. I was struggling to focus for a second, so we're in the zone. We're here, and we are hosting also our very first French band. This is another artist from the Inherited Suffering roster, a roster that we've hosted artists from before. I do believe the most recent one we did was actually Corpulent, which is one of Derek Ryan of Invirulent's new projects with Drake Gamble, also of A Penibectomy, Parasitic Embodiment, Necrophilic Beatdown, and a couple other projects that he's doing across the board, right? He's got a whole ass garden worth of different band projects he's doing just to get his creative flow out there and keep it consistent despite working at a school, which I think is really, really fascinating. Tonight, though, is the night that we, again, reach a new country. I'm very excited. We've had quite the awesome conversation so far with these guys, with Lou, Drew, and I never got your name, sir. The handsome devil on the left.
Baptiste.
Baptiste?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
you know,
I feel less American white being able to pronounce that correctly, but that's been happening since the beginning of the show.
Yeah, totally.
So Lou, Drew, and Baptiste. Awesome. All right, gentlemen. As per the questionnaire, the also polished and reconstructed questionnaire, which is hopefully less intimidating for any and all artists and bands that we host in the near future, let's go ahead and dive straight into part 1, the people. First question, origin, or first topic, origin. Let's go ahead and go in the order of Drew, Lou, and Baptiste, because that's more or less the order that we were doing during the BTS segment. We start with the greatest question of all for all musicians. Doesn't matter how clickbait it is, it always works, and the audience needs to know. How did music become important to you? Take it away, gentlemen, please and thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I started on drums when I was 5 or 6, I think. But I was trash actually, so I just quit it like really, really soon to play drum. And my parents just put me on guitar actually with a teacher that was really, really nice, a classical guitar. And then actually, yeah, he hooked me on music, and I love the instrument. And actually, I played like, I don't know, like not really just 1 hour per week, something like that. And actually, I play guitar like a lot when I was in high school. I started to listen to, actually that was metalcore. I started with As I Lay Dying. Some friend of mine just introduced me to the band, and then I went from As I Lay Dying to Whitechapel. Actually, that was the biggest thing for me with deathcore, and yeah, I just started to play a lot. And actually, I learned quite myself to play guitar, so that was tough because I had a teacher for like 2 years, I think. And so yeah, when I was in college, then I continued to play, and I was not really going to class actually. So I was playing like 5 or 6 hours a day, just learning from tabs and just repeating over and over the riffs till I got them. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Okay. Sweet. And thank you for telling us about your story so far, sir, and more of like a sped run way of doing things. But I mean, honestly, it's good for time's sake, right? Let's go ahead and continue then with Lou. Same question.
I'm pretty similar story. In fact, I started by drums when I was very young, like 3 years old. But when we moved, I couldn't play because of the neighbors. So I stopped for a while. And in middle school, I think when I heard Slipknot for the first time is when at this time it was only the first two albums, and that when I really knew I wanted to make a band someday. Fast forward to high school, when I was 16, I started a band with my friends just because they were my best friends, and we all started an instrument. And at this time, I picked up bass because one of my best friends already picked guitar, and one of my other friends already picked drums. So I was like, yeah, I will play bass. And I skipped mid high school the entire year, and I stayed at home and played 12 hours of bass a day. And 6 months later, I started playing guitar because I was like, yeah, I can't find bass songs that I like, not that I can play. So I'm switching to guitar now. And in the end, then the deathcore era, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel, Veil of Maya, Born of Osiris, all of the Sumerian core really lead me into more technical stuff. And then there was a gent. And so at this time, I started my first deathcore band. And I had a lot of bands since then. And I jumped from drums to guitar, from drums to guitar to vocals, etc. And now I don't even know if I'm on guitar or drums in Malum at this point, but I've done the guitars on the album, and we've played a lot of shows. No, not a lot of shows. We've done a few shows, and sometimes I was on drums, sometimes I was on guitar. But I'm really better at guitar than I am on the drums because I could have a lot more training.
Okay. So, do forgive me, gentlemen.
And so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You go.
Yeah, we go. Okay. So yeah, I started music at 13. I tried guitar before and drums way later, but I've always done vocals. And so I fell into metal really young. I was 8. All of my families are musicians, but yeah, all of them are vocalists. But yeah, I was the evil in the family, and I never let go of this kind of stuff, and I wanted to play it fast. So I started my first band at 13, and metal took up a huge place in my life. At 14, I was booking shows for an association and hosting on a local radio. I did that for years, basically all through my teens, while still trying to make music on the side. So yeah, I never dropped music, but life meant I had less time a lot of the time. I had less time, yeah. But like Drew, once I was stable, I could finally focus on it fully with resources to build a real project with the different members. So I never wanted to do anything other than music, but I have other passion too, yeah. But music is the main part of my life, honestly. So here I am.
There you go. Okay. So, I mean, one thing that's really cool to hear is that you've already accomplished a step that I plan to do when I relocate over to Nashville, Tennessee, which would be getting involved in Nashville local radio. And their radio station sucked. It was awful when I heard it over the radio. It was like the sludge or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this sludge? And it was basically just, this hurts. It was basically just 98 KUPD but over in Nashville. And I'm like, well, that's no different. This is supposed to be Music City. This is supposed to be where that type of thing is a lot better. So the fact that you already went through that process and you got involved in what is more improvised, more demanding music journalism and doing radio, that is very admirable. Not many people, I don't think, here in the U.S., maybe who have stage fright, I don't think a lot of them would have the best time getting involved in radio and doing commentary, maybe even inviting bands onto the show, just like, this is Orthodox coming in, these are Nashville local heroes, pardon me, these are Nashville heroes, or Chambers coming through town and they're about to play a show tonight at the end in downtown Nashville. Most people don't really have the patience, nor do they want to put themselves out to do something like that. So I commend you, and I definitely want to do that one day as well, because I've been told, whether because of the show or otherwise, that I have a very radio talk show host friendly voice. Holy shit, that's bright.
Turn on the lights on the other room.
I'm like, what's going on? Ultimately, it's really cool that you got involved in radio, and then Lou, the way that you ended up going through, you and Drew ended up jumping in between so many different roles, tells me that you're multi-instrumentalists, which means there's no second guessing. There's no, I think this riff would work a little bit better. You're like, nah, dude, that riff is trash. And you'll just like start jamming around. And therefore, there's less room for hesitation. There's less room for compromise, because even if maybe, and I do forgive me because I didn't overhear this so far, or at least I don't remember this so far, neither one of you had continued education that had to do with music. So
Yeah.
the term musical inclination, right? Being musically inclined. If I'm remembering that correctly, neither of you went through that process. However, you were involved in it from a very early age. I think I remember one of y'all saying that you had been involved in it since you were 12, and both of you ended up being multi-instrumentalists. So I think that ends up playing really well into the collaboration that makes the Malum process what it is, and what is going to make this album I have yet to listen to so much better. Like, there's going to be so much more packed in there. There's, I think, going to be a lot more confidence that I can hear. Man, this shit's attacking the corner of my mouth. Woo! But ultimately, it's awesome. It's awesome what I've heard so far about you guys' stories, and the fact that y'all ended up smashing forces together to create the Malum process, of course, with additional members that might not have been available tonight. If not, if it's just the three of you, fuck yeah, we have the whole band in session, but I don't know for sure. Let's actually go ahead and clear the air on that. That way I'm not being too much of a bozo, though I'm in a lot of pain right now. Are you guys the only members in the Malum process, or are we missing a couple guys?
Yeah, we missed the bassist,
Bassist,
Anthony.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are only four of you then.
Yeah, we are only four, yeah, because Lou switched on the drums. He was a guitarist, but he switched on the drums because we can't find any fucking drummers here, man, for 10 fucking years. So we decide to just
I think
yeah.
it wasn't very smart of us to write parts that are 280 BPMs and not being famous.
Okay.
Like
Oh, yeah.
no drummer who actually can play that in France we would care to play in a little band. So I got to learn to do it myself, and I'm still not able to play a lot of the faster shit because it's really fucking fast. But I can do a decent job on a lot of songs.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, that just makes it to where your own band, instead of having to do homework with other bands that are maybe a higher level of drumming than your own, or what you guys have on the album, this just means that learning your own material will be enough of a challenge that once you get through those tracks, oh man, you could be the next fucking Aaron Pauli. and by Aaron Pauli, I mean the drummer of Infant Annihilator, or possibly even Leo McLean of both Worm Shepherd and Psycho Frame.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's killer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fucking awesome. And thank you for answering that question. That means at least this time with our first French band, we got 75% of the band involved. So freaking bravo to me smashing this last second, also smashing my concentration, not even with alcohol this time, but with spicy fucking food instead, and still managing to stay this focused. Okay, I think we more or less covered who or what got y'all into music, right? Like as far as people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
In that case, third question of origin, or the topic origin. Were there local bands, scenes, or people that helped push you forward in starting and being a part of the Malum process?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've got a tight local scene where we all know each other and push each yeah we and push each other honestly. And we've seen a lot of inspiring people around there. Most of them are still our friends today. Those friendships go back 10 years ago, honestly. So yeah, this is a good local scene here, honestly, with our friends. So that's easy.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, the spirit of pushing us mutually, honestly, that's really good. Is really helpful, honestly. Mm,
Fuck yeah. All right.
mm.
Topic 2 in part 1, we have location. So, what I want each of you to do is just go ahead and quote me at one fun fact about France. One fun fact about you, where you grew up, that maybe most of our American, British, or other audiences around the world might not know about France. Pardon me. This is terrible. Oh, my belching tonight. Holy shit. Sorry, guys.
Mm. One thing I don't know.
In fact,
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm. Uh, yeah. So some associations sell some cheese on metal concerts, so that's maybe something. Honestly.
That's awesome. We definitely don't show cheese our
Yeah. Not everyone, but I saw this one time and it was so fucking funny, man.
Oh my god. Cheese at concerts. That's great. Make
That's
that a
such a French
tradition.
thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Not
awesome.
baguettes, but yeah, some cheese always.
That's amazing. Okay. Next fun fact. We got 2 more at least. I need to continue staying focused on this interview. This is getting bad.
Actually, I could recall like when we started the band with Baptiste,
Hmm.
because we were in the same band that was called Infectious at the time.
Okay.
And I remember that we played a show in Grasse, which is yeah, in a small scene actually.
Okay.
And that was my first time actually in a band. And I took the place from another guitarist that had to leave. And yeah, we just played the show and we couldn't rehearsal like very much.
Hmm.
So we just had like few hours playing together. And I just remember that so that was the first show with me and the band.
Uh-huh.
And we recorded it and we were just like unprofessional. That was fucking terrible. And I just remember that that we were playing like I don't remember the song, and we just were doing absolutely that was terrible, and we just lost each other during the during the song, and we just lost track, and the bassist player was just like doing just trying to just continue the show, and we had to stop.
because it was so fucking terrible.
It was the best solo, man.
And I just remember, like listening to the audio, like way
What
like
the hell was
few
that?
yeah, yeah, few weeks later and saying, "Oh my God, that's a shame." Like people were they just went to go to this show and we were doing this. So that was quite funny when we think about.
Yeah, but we was young. Honestly, we was so fucking young. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like
we're young.
15 or 15 years. And it was a fun fact, yeah,
Yeah.
about the start.
Nice, nice. We love to hear that because like imagine where you'll go one day. Imagine the better shows that you'll have. This is fun. Because
Yeah,
this
that
is
could
the
be worse,
challenge.
actually. That could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
Uh,
But oh yeah, this is the dab. This is the dab. This is influencing my talking right now.
it's
It's
kicking
burning
in.
my lips. Oh fuck. But all right, let's get a third fun fact about France, please. Let's keep it rolling.
This one.
I don't know if you know this. You know of baguette, obviously, but Do you know we make our hot dogs in baguette, and we slice them in half, and we put the sausage in the baguette. So technically, if you are in France, a hot dog is a sandwich because the bread is sliced.
Well, good thing I don't give a shit about hot dogs. I'm kidding. That actually sounds really good, especially over in France right now. Like, I don't know what it is, but American hot dogs are just so gross. The closest thing I can get to it is a bratwurst. And then I get these special chicken and apple sausage links. I keep forgetting the company. The dude's Italian, I guess, and they just have him with his smiling mugshot on the front for the graphic art. But that chicken and apple sausage, pardon me, is really, really good. Other than that, I can't stand hot dogs, but I would love to try food over in France in general.
Oh, yeah.
American hot dogs, I can understand why you don't like them. It's a lot more gross.
Well, the thing is too. After I think a year ago or so, seeing an article where a Michigan local news network was reporting that there was human meat in the Ball Frank hot dogs that they were selling and distributing over in Michigan, I'm like, fuck that. I'm never eating hot dogs ever again. I don't care if they're from Michigan. I don't care if they're from freaking heaven. They're so gross. And like, even at a baseball game, I would rather just get nachos or pretzels with some cheese. I'm doing this to myself. You guys see this in real time. I am doing this to myself. Fuck. But yeah, American food is so gross. That's another reason I don't like being here is because until further notice, our ingredients lists for all of our shit, even these little gummies and stuff, there is so much more in glucose syrup, dextrose. What the hell is dextrose? Pectin, citric acid, sodium citrate, all of these terrible, terrible sounding things that end up being like pesticides that you're like barely able to consume and digest. It's so bad. So tell you what, I will go to France one day and I will have one of you guys' hot dogs and most likely I will enjoy it and I will cry because I'm like, well, ball franks are trash, but this is fantastic. Turns over, like, pardon me, maybe I'll go to the restaurant where they make them and they're like, yeah, these are ball franks too. And then I'll be like, no, or something. Who knows? But ultimately, I have a feeling that even ballpark franks made over in France are going to be a lot better than they are here, just because there's a lot less ingredients in them, and most likely the meat sources are a little less suspicious. But a hot dog, a French hot dog, and a baguette sounds really good. So yes, fun fact for sure that technically you can have a hot dog, and in France you can make a hot dog a sandwich. That's pretty interesting. I never really thought about that. Good shit. So, next question regarding the topic of location. Did where you grew up influence your creativity, you think? And it doesn't have to be out of like national pride. It can be because of a certain area that helped you figure out the visual aesthetics for your album, anything like that. In that context, speaking more broadly and more generally, did where you grew up influence your creativity in the Malum process?
Mm. That's particular because our local scene is active and it's motivating and all of this shit. But even though we play a style of metal that doesn't really speak to people here,
Oh,
we still get a lot of curious folks. But keeping in where we are in an area where with our local bands, metal struggles.
uh-huh.
A lot of associations or venue closed when when they get too ambitious, just because turnout is low. So local bands that blow up tend to look elsewhere fast. For us, it's true, but because in France there aren't many Brotherless fans. But yeah, when you do some Brotherless shit, honestly, in France, you're alone, especially in your area, the south of France, the French Riviera. Honestly, nobody wants Brutalist. We got a few shows of Brutalist here, and we was like, yeah, 15 peoples. So that's
Fuck.
really not enough. So I remember like 10 years ago, we got Defeated Sanity here with Putrid Pile. So very big bands from Europe, and except Putrid Pile from Europe. And so we was, yeah, 56. And I was like, yeah, okay, so Borderless is definitely is definitely not the kind of stuff that people want here. But yeah, so honestly, we got a lot of different influences. Me and Drew are more into Borderless stuff. Lou are more on their stuff and maybe more things. But yeah, so the local scene motivating, but yeah, the inspiration is honestly from us and from, of course, our different friends from France that listen and play some brutalness. So bands like Embrace Your Punishment, Kanine, yeah.
I've been wanting to get them on forever too, and we
Yeah.
almost did back in I think, oh fuck, like 23, 24. It just never happened yet. I also know of God's Farm or God Farm.
Yeah.
K9, I'm pretty sure is from France too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know my shit. And then there's also Hurricane.
Yep.
Those are the bands I know of
Hurricane?
from the French death metal world. And I want to get them all on because those are the only four bands I know of. I know that there are plenty of other bands, even if the genre doesn't cater too well to local people, to your average Jane and Joe walking the streets of France. Like, even then, there are going to be bands. And that's kind of why it's the counterculture, because it's like, well, as much as it would be great for marketing and commercializing and being able to monetize off the music,
Mm.
sometimes it's better that the whole country doesn't like you. And what I mean by that is like every single person in the country liking brutal death metal, because maybe there would be an oversaturation overnight. You know what I mean? But other than that, I definitely hope to be hosting all those bands, and by all means, during this conversation, as we crawl later into the early morning for y'all, and later into the evening for me, any of the bands that you guys feel have like you've played shows with side by side and that's gone really well and they're local to France like you mentioned, if I'm missing any and I need to be just made aware of other artists, like that's exactly what the session is for too, because this will be then chapter one of our French sessions, slingshotting, and maybe the Anatomy Crosscast will be talked about a lot more in France because of it. Like that's usually the goal, but it's also awesome to host different bands from different countries. So, continuing with location, then, right? If brutal death metal, or the genre that you are writing for, this is not really in the questionnaire, but it has a pretty simple answer to it, I think. Um, if brutal death metal is not the subgenre that caters to more people in France, we're talking about the metal world. It already doesn't cater to that many people. as much as other artists or genres. I don't know of the people who are top charting or people who are maybe higher in the music world over in France, speaking from the metal world. What are some bands or genres that you guys think the people of France are enjoying more these days? I guess.
Oh, I would say Gojira.
Yeah, Gojira, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. What the fuck? Are they from France?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
we are very
that's
proud of
something
Gojira. This is the main band.
that's something I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about when Baptiste was answering about how being French influenced our music, because the local scene sure didn't, because there wasn't a lot of brutal death in the local scene. But being French as a whole, I mean, we've got exposed to Gojira very soon, and we also had a ton of very good bands that used dissonance in a way that got it really got used by American bands 10 years later, where some bands like Gojira, Benighted, Acrid, Hypnose used dissonance and arpeggios that with letterings.
Right.
And so, as far as the stuff I'm writing in Malum, I really used a lot of that and put it into a more brutal death form. So there's definitely some influence from the French metal world in what we do, even though it's definitely brutal death. It's not just that. There's some French touch in there, for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, I like that answer. And that's definitely more or less the answer I was looking for is, if you guys are already there, it doesn't have to be national pride, but it can be just influence from the top charting bands and shit. Maybe that's how I should ask it to a band next time. But awesome. Thank you, Lou. Do you still feel connected to where you're from, gentlemen?
Do we still connected to what? Sorry, got a.
Right. So, do you still feel connected to where you're from?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, for the music. Oh, yeah, but so we don't know if where we're from is a huge inspiration, honestly, because as I said, we are in an area that is definitely not metal at all.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's just sun, the sea,
yeah.
and a lot of old people.
Yeah, a lot of old people. So that's really beautiful here, but yeah, that is not really something that could inspire us, honestly.
Even in the aesthetics and everything, that's just,
No,
like sun and everything, the opposite of metal,
it's
actually.
the least
Yeah.
metal place. It's one of the least metal places in the world here. Like you really have to have something going very wrong in your life to feel inspired to write brutal, angry shit while you're living here, because everything is beautiful, everything is safe, everything it's birds and flowers and beautiful places, and it's there's nothing that could inspire you to write some of the most disgusting shit ever when you're looking at this. It's really
Yeah, he's
it's
right.
not the
He's
place.
right.
It's the life. It's not the place.
Yeah.
That's great.
Honestly, we're like OVNI, honestly.
Like we don't know what's wrong with us, but we just like writing this shit. No, that's great.
Yeah, that's more personal issues or personal stories that bring us to write, brutal
Okay.
shit, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that works. Thank you then, Lou, for providing that kind of more punchy, more funny answer. That was good. Topic 3 would be gear graveyard. Okay. So I don't know who is more of a gearhead amongst the three of y'all. Okay.
Oh, that's Lou.
Lou?
For sure.
Okay.
Lou, yeah, definitely.
All right, so Lou, this part of the part 1 is definitely going to be more catered to you. What is your current setup for your main gear?
Yeah.
Oh man, it kind of changes every day. I mean, I've got a lot of setups because I own a studio, so I have like 10 different guitar amps. I've got 12 different snares, and so I don't know. I don't even know. Should I talk about drums? Should I talk about guitars? I mean, I can show
Ooh,
you my
okay,
drums.
okay. Yeah, since you are going to be taking over drums, let's go ahead and just talk about drums for this session. And maybe next time we'll come back to you
Yeah, yeah.
for the gear
I
and we'll
mean,
talk about guitar.
it's
Holy shit.
it's right. Yeah. So I mean, I'm playing a Tama Star Classic Maple with I've got a 10 let's see 10 inch, 12 inch, 14, 16. I've got two crashes, two chinas, two stacks, and one splash, one hi-hat, and a double bass drum. And the snare is it's an old Tama from the first kit I ever bought. That's the snare I play right now because it got old heads on it, so I don't care about the head. But I probably play another snare in Malum.
Oh, Lou,
Probably this.
here's a question
It's
that
dark.
might kind of like for drummers and shit. What brand do you play on? Are all those chinas and cymbals and stuff, are they the same brand?
No, they're Sabian. That's some really it's niche. This one, it's a stag. It's like one of the most entry-level brands you can find. But they at some point they did try to do some serious cymbals, and I bought this one used for like 100 euros, and it sounds fucking nuts. It's as good as a Zildjian or whatever. And for everything here is my tuning setup, except for the splash and the mini stack. So they're not my real cymbals. I'd play all Zildjian if I could have the money. So my real setup, I've got I'm using for this one here is a Sabian, but it would be a Zildjian K Crash Ride 18 inch, and
Okay.
this one is a Sabian Ride, and it would be a K Crash Ride 20 inches from Zildjian. I'm using the Mega Bell. It's really the best ride from ever. Like
I won't be able to hear that.
most beautiful thing. That's yeah, Zildjian. I'd play everything Zildjian if I could afford everything Zildjian, but I have to make some concessions
I see.
for many reasons. And I don't play my real cymbals every day. I keep them only for live shows that are important, or if I ever need to do a tracking session.
Okay. Well, while you're still in your gear room, one thing that I think I should ask in reference to this new album that just dropped, did you write more drums or guitar on the record?
Both.
Both? Okay. So
I wrote the drums, but I wrote a lot of the guitars. But Drew wrote half of the songs, and I wrote the most of the other half. And but I wrote the drums for all of them.
Okay. So yeah, you ended up writing a lot for this record, huh?
Yeah.
The casual shrug. The fuck you mean? Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You should be proud of
I mean,
yourself.
No,
Yeah, it's humble.
I like. I'm trying to let room from for other people to write because
Well, yeah,
I'm
still.
I'm a little bit too prolific when it comes to writing the music. and sometimes it can suffocate bandmates. So I have to be a little aware of it.
I see. Well, still, thank you for showing us your drum kit. Did you write most of the riffs and the guitar that you contributed to the record with one guitar? I remember you said you have multiple axes, right? So did you write it with multiple guitars?
I can show you.
Let's go. Let's go again.
There we go.
I mean,
Oh, man.
I use this one for most of the shit awards because I didn't have the guitar I play live. The most is an LTD 7 strings with AMGs and like the most slam guitar you can find ever tuned, AMGs 25 and a half inch scale. But this one is an 8 string. That's been my main guitar from years before I bought the other one. And yeah, that's all of the stuff. Everything that I wrote on the album that I wrote is from this guitar.
Hell yeah, cool. Well, thank you for showing me your axe. If that was mispronounced even slightly, that would have been, thank you for showing me your ass. And no, that's not what I meant.
I mean, I'm not showing you my ass.
He's like, not on camera. No, I'm kidding. So Lou, if you would agree with the other two gentlemen in call right now that you are the most gearhead in the entire band, do you have any specific toys or any gear that you want to buy additionally, maybe for the next major thing for the Malum process? Are there any, right?
Yeah. Since I switched to drums, I want good double, a good double
bass?
pedal. I want. Yeah, no, the pedals. The pedals.
Right, double pedals. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sick of what I've got. I've got all the DW 5000s, and they're fucking dead, man. I don't even know. I don't even know how I can play fast on this, and I get it. I can go fast on this, but every other drummer that tries them, they're like, no man, I can play on this shit. And the more I train double bass, the more I'm like, no, even me, I can't play on this shit anymore. So I want to have a good double bass pedals because I will need to have to go very fast in this band. And ultimately, I'd like to dip into the Hilto technique to make things easier and be able to do that consistently and not just on good days.
Right.
And this just can't be done with the pedals I have right now. So I really wish I could have some nice Chachiko Pito or ACD, something very high-end when it comes to double pedals. But right now I'm playing on dead W 5000s and it sucks. So yeah, double pedals. As far as Malum is concerned, yeah, double pedals is the thing I'd like to have a better thing.
Hell yeah. So I think this next question regarding the gear graveyard topic can be applicable to everyone in call. What is the worst piece of gear that each of you have ever owned during your musical career?
Oh, I think I could start because actually the truth is that I'm playing and I played a lot of music on Lou stuff. And I just have the same guitar like for I think like 10 or 15 years.
Okay.
Like an Evidence 7-string Aaron label. And when I started music, I just had, like a amp with effects. But I mean, that was like, I don't know, like 200 euros. And it was like 80 watts or something. So I couldn't play in bands because I didn't really have the gear to play on it. So yeah, that was like, yeah, the most terrible thing I played onto, yeah. And when I switched to the Malum process, and thanks to Lou, we had a way better gear. So yeah, I thank him for that.
Hell yeah. How about Baptiste and Lou? What's the worst piece of gear you've ever had?
Oh, a lot of years ago, I got a microphone. It was some kind of shit that you can hold on your hand. Something that's yeah, I don't know what it is. It was like a microphone, but uh, I don't know what it was, but I played
You didn't like
like
it.
two shows with yeah with the shit, and honestly, sounded good. But yeah, one day just this shit just left me. So, it was yeah, but so that's more easy for me because I'm a fucking vocalist. So I actually got a SC1 and that is perfect. So I don't have a lot of problem.
Right, right. Not nearly as much as the other guys. It's mainly just with the mic. And if you happen to drop it because you're wanting to swing it around, knock yourself in the head one time, you're like, fuck, this is dented now or something. Like,
Yeah.
just switch out the mic. But Lou, how about you, man? Would it be those double
Man,
pedals you're looking to replace?
yeah, I mean, these double pedals, I used to like them, but they're too rusty now. So, I mean, I can't really think of a gear I had that was so awful that I hated it. I mean, even the Light 6 Pod, I still have them. I love all kinds of gear, even that's also because I'm a producer, and so sometimes something that sounds more lo-fi and not very professional. It's something you can use for a transition or for an intro or from some specific lead songs. So I don't have really there's no gear I really hate, but yeah, my double pedals are fucking broken. So yeah, that will go to my
He's on
Okay.
tryhard mode.
There you go. Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, at least you have the patience to where you're more or less one of those people that when it comes to the tool of your trade or the tool of your craft, you're like, I don't really care if it's this specific quality or the other. Of course, I would love to invest into better stuff one day, but whatever I get, I'm going to use it until it's broken. Like, I think that's a rule for a lot of musicians to have instead of buying, I don't know, 8 different guitars for niche applications.
I mean, I have more than 8 different guitars for niche applications, but when it comes to double bass in particular, I was always like, I mean, I didn't want to spend like $1,000 on something that can be compensated with my skills. Because when you buy a new guitar, it's cool for you because you have new songs, you can play with it, and it's a fresh experience, it motivates you to play more music again, and same thing with amps, same thing with microphones. I'm very lucky to have a lot of good things here, but I don't. I have like $2,000 microphones, and I have $20 microphones, and sometimes the $20 microphone might do a job good, and that's
Right.
I'm not discriminate. I don't do discrimination towards the cheaper gear if it sounds good and does its job.
Good. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, then you really just harness the tool of your craft. And even if other people don't recognize it as a certain quality or the other, you're just like, yeah, I just know how to use it. Like, I'll make it work. Just put it in my hands. You know what I mean? And that's really cool. Not a lot
Definitely.
of people can say that. Especially not people who are obsessed with gear. They're like, nah, fuck that $20 microphone. I want the $3,500 microphone. And it's like, whoa, okay. I hope you plan to make a couple albums with that one alone. But that's cool. Topic 4 in part 1. Give us things that helped shape this release, and this is on an individual basis. These can be albums by other bands, these can be movies, people, games, life experiences. Like, what are 5 different things each of you can name that inspired your debut album.
Oh. Honestly, yeah. Um, the most part is history because on the lyrics we talk about a lot of historic characters, a lot of different kings or serial killer. So history is the most part of our inspiration because we got some a spirit and a message with all of the stuff. But honestly, for doing music, the inspiration is all the band we listen to. We love bands like Organectomy, we love Cranium, Beneath the Massacre. This kind of band got a lot of inspiration for us.
Okay.
Yeah, and so uh, we love our movies too, and yeah, serial killer shit and all of this stuff. So. Yeah, on the lyrics that is very slamming. Yeah, we got a lot of slamming stuff, you know. We talk about some real shits. We'll think about all of these characters, but with some gore shits adding, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, that's the spirit.
if
Mm.
I may, Baptiste, because I know this is also coming from a perspective of lyricism when you mentioned the historical figures and some of the narratives that are tying into this record. If I may, what are some historical characters that are mentioned in this first full-length album by the Malum Process?
Oh, a lot of different kings across Europe. Some old French kings, like Louis XI, as we said in France. From Denmark too, with Eric IV. Uh, um, we got two, one man from Belgium, who's called Leopold II. This person, all of these characters are was really mad, was into a lot of perversion, and the power just totally crushed their head, and they did a lot of different things that are very, very
Bad.
disgusting, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
So yeah, so Leopold, the guy from Belgium, he was in Africa, and he just do a lot of torture and experiences of in poor innocent people, and so this guy was very sadistic. So yeah, that's an inspiration for us because the message is the power is the problem, and the power just is just the wrongest thing that could happen to a human,
Right. Yeah.
honestly.
And I mean, to quote Garrett Russell of Silent Planet, who quoted it from someone else, so it's not original to him, I just heard through him. You give anybody too much power, too much authority, and they are bound to abuse it,
Yeah,
unfortunately. So
yeah.
this ends up just being another example of that. And I cannot wait to jump into this record head first, learn a little French history, if I actually look at the lyrics in the comment section on the Inherited Suffering YouTube channel, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good shit. So I look forward to learning a little bit of French history with this album, as well as learning about some sadistic people over in Europe that ended up being an inspiration for this record. You guys like serial killer movies. What would you say, if there was one, could be paralleled or correspondent, meaning it could be attached to this first full length album?
Mm, mm. Yeah, maybe Chainsaw Massacre. For the spirit and you know the kind of stuff where you got a guy that is crazy and you don't know really why, but you can feel a history on this guy. And honestly, when we talk about history, we talk about kings and all of this stuff. Uh, we can't imagine that all of these people could be really mad, and you need to do a lot of different research to know that. So uh, yeah, the spirit is just to show that we don't know people as we should, you know?
True. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know everybody's deepest,
yeah,
darkest intentions and what they're capable of.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. And I mean,
Mm,
that's kind of the cliche for slam
mm,
and brutal death metal. You know, there's a lot of misanthropy, there's a lot of hate for the general populace, the hive mind of the human race. But then, more specifically, what I like to believe is that there are a great variety of brutal death metal and slam artists who don't just write brain dead music for fun, or at least for the shows it's supposed to be fun, but maybe I would like to look forward to more bands doing what you guys are doing, which is, pardon me, excuse me, sorry. What I'd love to see is more brutal death metal and slam bands utilizing the aesthetic, the goriness that you expect in the subgenre, but bringing an awareness to like what terrible people can do and what we can do to correct that shit. I guess. I think that could be really
mm.
fun to do in the future because like I can only look at so many slam and brutal death metal albums with so much gore on them and be like, okay, do you guys just like gore? Do you need professional help? Like, like what else is there to this? Um, so
Yeah,
no, that's cool. That's great.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, for us, yeah, we got everyone in life are angry and got a lot of different negative things on them. So music is the best way to just evacuate it, you know?
I agree. I agree.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Drew,
So
oh,
honestly, we do some brutal things, and
hell yeah,
yeah.
Lou and Drew, you're next. Anything you want to add to the answers that Baptiste has already provided regarding any people, ideas, movies, other bands that might have influenced your contributions to this first full length album?
Yeah,
Um,
I can start.
yeah.
I think I
That's
will add some more bands like Abominable Patchouli or
Yeah.
Gituro Slug. And yeah, Beneath the Massacre is a huge influence for me. But I was more, I don't know, like trying some stuff on guitar. I mean, in our first EP, like a little bit less in the full length album. But yeah, I don't think of a movie. I quite like dark video games, for instance, like Silent Hill and everything. But that's not quite the aesthetics that we are using in the Malum process. And I think what it's very interesting in Silent Hill is the sound design. But I mean, it's quite hard to add some sound design effects and everything in Slam. We could do it actually, but I mean that's music. That's just not sound design. But yeah, mostly for my part, that will be a lot of bands actually. But I also, yeah, see some movies and play some dark video games or just, reading some Berserk things, uh, some, yeah, quite deep things. But I mean, when we write music, that's the first thing we just like to hang out with the dudes and, like just messing around, finding some stuff alone and then together. And I think that's like we said, that's not the local area that just brought us to write this thing, but more personal histories
Yeah.
and some yeah quite influences. But for my part, that will be some really the music I listen to.
Okay. Hell yeah. Lou, how about you, sir?
Oh, I mean, as far for my contributions, a lot of these things are just I was playing guitar and riffs popped. and I started recording them on the computer. And I mean, I'm there's not a lot of interesting things to say about what is no. I mean, there is stuff to say, but I think it will be better to talk about it track by track when we'll do the track by track. But as a general idea, I'm doable in the band. I don't like gore movies. I'm not really. I don't listen to a lot of brutal death and slam. I listen to a lot of older deathcore, to a lot of tech death, but not to a lot of very very brutal stuff. And I've tried to take influences from these outside genres and make them more fitted to what we use to play in the Malum process. And also because I'm not one of the former members, I joined after, and so I did my homework by listening a lot to the first EP, and I wanted to still write music that is in the same ballpark as this. So that's how I wrote what I wrote.
Oh yeah. Okay. So more or less, you personally, maybe this in a similar bracket of approach mentally as you being as much of a gearhead as you are, taking the tool and using it to the its greatest extent. Maybe the same thing goes for your more direct lack of creative pollution direction in the way that you do music, right? Maybe you're just like you every now and then take in some creative inspiration, but for the most part, the same way that you're having to crack down on drums now to learn the songs on the album, maybe as well as the old EP. You utilize the band that you joined. It's almost like here's a better way to describe it. You get a new job, you're doing the onboarding, you're using that onboarding to get familiar with the job. It's a very similar thing because you want to make sure that you're doing it the best you can in reference to what they want you to do. And then boom, that's it. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
that's it. Yeah, I treat it partly. I mean, I love it, but I treat it kind of like a job, you know. I mean, that's not. I didn't form this band. I didn't push the creative directions. All of this was already decided before I joined. So I'm trying to do my best to fit in with what's already there.
Oh yeah.
So I'm doing.
Sweet. Alrighty. Well, I think that will go ahead and conclude that. And the last question for part one, gentlemen. We're actually getting through these questions a lot quicker now that I don't have like 5 complicated questions for each of these generalized topics. But this would be, quote, outside the band. What do you all do outside of music? And this is like to connect.
Honestly, video games.
Video games?
Honestly, we play a lot together or solo. We talk about it constantly. Otherwise, we're always sharing music with each other. We are always curious about everything, and we keep up with everything dropping in metal, I'd say. We've all been friends for years, so connection is natural, honestly. But yeah, honestly, the most part is playing video games together.
Okay. And then, Drew, Lou, do you guys have anything else to contribute to that question?
I mean, I think I can add a fun fact and a little bit of context to because that joins the precedent question. Because I mean, when we were writing this album, this is when Elden Ring came out, and so I mean, at this time, the band chat that we have to talk to each other with all the band members in it. It kind of all turned into an Elden Ring chat, and I remember at some point Drew came to my house, so because we had to track one song and finish writing it, and we spent 1 hour rushing the song, and we spent the next 3 hours playing Elden Ring. And yeah, when this video game was out,
That
we
way took
were
so much time.
really deep into it, all of us.
Yeah.
I've heard the legends about Elden Ring and the frustration, the rage that it can bring out in the most patient of people on this planet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I don't think I could
I'm
ever
the
do
worst.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you say you're the worst at it,
huge
Lou?
fans of.
Oh yeah. They have more experience than me, so they can beat bosses quite easily. But I've been blocked 3 months on one of the bosses, and I've screamed my lungs out 20 times a day. I mean, I was like every 5 minutes. No, man, you have this is like therapy. After that, you're not having.
He's like, I don't even need to write the album anymore. I think I'm good. I think I got all my anger out.
I'm quitting music, yeah.
Or the opposite could happen. Maybe you would need therapy after because you have no self-worth anymore.
Fair enough, man. So Elden Ring is the game, right? That's the game y'all connect on, and you're like, yo, how do I beat this boss? Or are there some other titles that y'all play together, or at least you play individually and get into a group chat for?
Yeah, but honestly, all From Software games, we are huge
Oh,
fan
okay.
of From
Yep.
Software.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Yeah,
Yeah, the one red flag game for a band is just like we all connect on the most frustrating franchise and frustrating subgenre in all of
Yeah,
gaming.
I mean, even outside of From Software, I think one thing that we are all three of us have in common is really a taste for very difficult, frustrating games in general. And
yeah, totally.
That's crazy. Okay. Well, I mean, good for y'all. I mean, if you can get through Elden Ring together, you can get through anything. That's all I'm gonna say. I haven't even
Yeah, that's true.
tried to play one of those games before. Well, technically, I tried Bloodborne, and even that in the first couple levels or so, the first couple parts of the world map, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, nah, I'd rather play COD and be retarded than play a more sophisticated game that demands so much of your patience.
yeah,
Man,
Bloodborne is quite harsh on newcomers.
oh man, yeah, and honestly, the beginning of Bloodborne is so fucking hard, really.
Yeah?
So you need to try
Yeah.
out so much at the beginning. So yeah, don't worry. But if you can go through this shit, you can go through the entire game.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I think
Honestly.
the closest thing I think I've gotten to the From Software games, it doesn't count, but I'm just saying it's the closest thing I've got because it's not specifically COD. That'd be Fallout. I love Fallout 4. I have yet to play 3 in New Vegas. I really want to go back in time to play those because I miss those. I miss the eras where those first came out and, you know, the whole Fallout fan base was talking about them. And then 76, we don't talk about 76. Shelter, maybe a mobile game, but not a game for your fucking PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. That's just me, though. Fallout 4,
Yeah.
though, has always been one of those funner games. And then the fact that they're still doing add-ons for the damn game when they're not doing add-ons for 76, not nearly as good or successful, right? That's just astonishing to me. So it makes me wonder what they're planning to do for Fallout 5. I'm pretty sure we're going to Colorado because of the end of season 2 of the Fallout Amazon show, but I could be wrong. We'll have to see what happens. But Fallout's the closest I've gotten to Bloodborne or Dark Souls or Demon Soul. Like I don't think I can play those games, but that's okay because I'm still a patient guy. But maybe that would snap my patience in two like a toothpick. Like,
Oh yeah, I think.
but I think, gentlemen, that will actually be a great way to conclude part 1. Part 2,
Yep.
the anatomy. This is the depersonalized questionnaire. We got topic 1, the body. if the Malum process was a living organism, who would be what?
Oh,
Uh,
And
living
maybe
organism.
let's keep it
so
simple.
one organism, like what part of the an organism, right?
Yeah, like
Or
heart.
different entities?
Oh no, just
Uh,
one living organism.
Just one ent.
Yeah.
we'd be missing an arm currently because we're short of one member.
Well, for the three that we have in session, okay, we got 75% of the body. I guess we just drew and quartered one chunk of the Malum process, but
Yeah, yeah, honestly, yeah, it's totally right.
I don't want to speak for Lou, but I think it will be the brain of the entity.
Mm.
Oh, I was going to say Baptiste, where is the brain, to be honest.
interesting.
No.
Thank you.
If I'm the brain, so Lou is the end.
Yeah, I think that's more it.
I think it would be the
He
feet.
thinks,
Feet.
The feet.
yeah.
Yeah, it's feet, guys.
How about the pedals?
I mean, maybe not the feet, but the back, you know, the backbone.
Backbone.
But Drew is really the backbone of the band, I think. And yeah, but Baptiste is the one who's taking the more initiatives. Is the one who thinks the more about our career. Is the one who thinks the more about all the extra musical stuff and all the lore, the lyricism, and everything that gives taste and makes it more than just a brutal band, like we were talking earlier. So I think Baptiste will be the brain. And I mean, I make stuff, so I'm the end. Seems fitting.
Yeah, yeah. We're working like a real team, honestly. The most important thing for us is motivation, and we are all motivated to grow up and to get involved in this band. Yeah.
Right. So then we're all in agreement that Baptiste is the mind, Drew is the backbone, and then what is Lou? Did I hear feet?
No, hands.
Hands.
And
Hands.
Okay.
Hands and feet.
Hands.
What about the rest of it? We're just walking around with like two hands, like.
I mean, we're
The Malum process.
we're not. I'm not really familiar with the bassist because he just joined. So the bassist is a new guy, and we're lacking another member. So yeah, we're kinda dismembered right now.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get the feet and legs and everything else later on. Until
Yeah.
it looks more like Mike Wazowski, the damn thing. Like that's great. Okay. Here's a more clickbait one though. And this is under the topic the name. How did the band name happen?
Oh yeah, the names come from the myth of Adam and Eve.
Oh,
And yeah, Adam and Eve. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because all lyrics, as I said, talk about dark, sadistic, and perverse historical figures, often great kings, and so translate human nature in its most malignant form. So Malum is represented in the legend of Adam and Eve as the forbidden fruit, the beginning of sin. So we express the process of Malum through humanity.
ooh, okay. Well,
I
Malum.
didn't know, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Now the hands know. Not that the hands need to know. Oh my god. What if the hands for the Malum process had like eyes on them, like that dude from Pan's Labyrinth? Or just this
Yeah, yeah.
is Lou. Just both of them just like, hey, where are we going?
You don't know where, but he go.
That's why he's walking around like that. Jesus. Maybe that's exactly where the eyes are, because we never confirmed that there was a head with eyeballs and a distinct mouth on it. So maybe the eyes and mouth, as creepy as shit as that would be, Lou's just like, hey, how's it going? That's going to be a very interesting monster to draw, and I think that's one thing I'm going to start doing based off of these Anatomy Crosscasts is no matter how goofy it sounds, right? I'm just going to start making these whack-ass looking monsters and cryptids based off of the body part designations that each of the members agree upon. But Malum is definitely a new word to me, and it defines as 1, in law, an evil. Number 2, in pathology, a disease. And 3, inflammation of the sclera in the aged. Interesting. I was wondering what the Malum meant, because the rest of it's like the process. It's like, well, the what process? The Malum process. Bah, 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 bah. I'm like,
oh yeah, it's true that it's not obvious from an English perspective because in France the word evil is mal, so malum is just mal with it's a Latin word. It's quite obvious when you're French, but when you're English, it's true that it's not obvious.
That's so sick. I never even thought of it. Just like the Malum process. I'm like, ooh, that sounds sexy in a certain context. So, in that case, topic 3, inside of part 2, we have the DNA. Okay. And I want to see how close all 3 of y'all, out of 4, can get to agreeing with each other, because if not, we have some affairs going on, right? So if the Malum process was the child of 2 bands and 2 bands only, who would be the parents?
That's a tough one.
Honestly, Abominable Putridity was one of them.
Okay.
And
That's a big bottle of Coke, sir. That came out of nowhere.
No, it's small. It's 1 liter.
I guess it just looks big from my POV.
Yeah, if you put it here, it's really, really big. It's not.
Oh, okay. He's like, I'm not drinking that. What are you talking about? There's no Coke in this session. Sorry. Well, so Abominable Putridity and what other band? And this is coming from Drew so far.
I don't know. I would say Beneath the Massacre. I think that will be the 2 bands.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we're not playing as fast as Beneath the Massacre. But,
I think Beneath the Massacre is like an ideal that we're not reaching. But we are clearly there's some inspiration.
There was some cheating going on. There were some affairs going on. No wonder why the Malum process is so violent. It's angry. A little Mike Wazowski angry looking thing with eyeballs and mouths on his hands. Of course it has problems with its parents. Poor damn thing's so dysfunctional. It's like, why was I born? Like, it's fucking, that makes a lot of sense. So would Beneath the Massacre be the father or the mother?
I think that Beneath the Massacre could be the father that's not really here.
Yeah, I think the Abominable makes more sense as the mother because we're sure we are his child, but Beneath the Massacre we don't really know. Maybe it's another. It's the mother used to hang out with a lot of guys, so there's a lot of bands that could be the father. Beneath the Massacre is maybe the one that was the closest and the official, but maybe it's not really a child, we don't know.
So maybe Abominable Putridity is something you can cling on to a little bit more easier with the faster, more tech slam influence in your music.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly.
I love that. And that's exactly why we asked that question, because like how spicy could that topic get? What distinguishes the Malum process from other bands in the brutal death metal ecosystem, in your opinion? And this is a question that used to be what separates it, right? And in that context, it was like, what makes this brutal death metal band different than hundreds of other brutal death metal bands? That's not what we're saying. When we're talking about an ecosystem, that's a little bit different to me, because that means how is it fretting or faring? Yeah, how is it faring against other brutal death metal bands? Say they were all just animals. They were all these weird amalgamations that sometimes we see on the merch t-shirts in real life. If they were all just monsters, how do y'all think the Malum process is doing in the ecosystem right now?
So yeah, so what separates us from uh, besides the besides the thing that we got some real lyrics, because I know that in the slam stuff they don't have a lot of different lyrics. I don't know. I'd say the slightly technical side and the different influences we have. There's a bit of everything we love, in fact, violent in metal. Uh, but yeah, I don't know, because we really stick to a main slam foundation. It has to slam. So
I think I would say like I will compare it to Chameleon. I don't know if it makes
yeah.
sense. Like we're just I don't know adapting.
Mm.
Like we have some basic slam stuff that we're playing onto, and but we're not like Cranium or I think of Traumadomy that
Yeah.
is like pure slam, you know. So yeah, that's quite a lot of influences and how it works together, and everyone is bringing part to this. So yeah, I would say something that adapts from this ecosystem
Yeah.
and trying to reach some other boundaries that
Yeah.
maybe the more classical slam bands are not doing. I don't know.
Yeah, so
Yes.
perhaps then in the brutal death metal / slam ecosystem, maybe the Malum process is an organism that is trying to almost camouflage and depict the patterns, the colors, some of the protrusions from its flesh. Maybe it's trying to blend in and camouflage itself for protection, but it's not exactly, obviously organisms can't do this anyways, but say in the grand scheme of things, a lot of animals, they learn to evolve, right? They learn to evolve, adapt, and blend in a little bit more. This one is more like a chameleon because it doesn't really need to do much except for pretend to blend in. Maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
we don't pretend anything,
No.
Oh, yeah,
honestly.
right.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
don't.
yeah.
I'm not seeing it as pretending. I just think like we have we're trying to be a bit more classy than just gore and B movie gore. We're like if we're looking at horror movies, for example, you have like movie besides gore horror movies on one side, and you have movies like Midsommar on the other side. And there's a sense of elegance in the way the gore is presented to the audience, and I think there's a bit of that in how we write music, because it's never, it's very violent, it's very brutal, but we always like to twist it in a way that makes it interesting and kind of beautiful in the twisted way,
Yeah.
and from a musical perspective.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that's really that's all that makes it a one thing in the context of the brutal death metal scene, is that we have our sense of making things at least a little bit beautiful, but even it's really dark, it's really brutal, but it's not brainless, and it's presented in a way that is mostly it's cleaner. It's I don't know. it's difficult to explain, but
I understand what you're saying. Like, what y'all want to do is with the Malum process, and for example, this first album, that being ignominious, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Nemesis, yeah.
Iniminous. Piece of decay.
Yamenis.
Right. It is supposed to be a little bit more, there's supposed to be a little bit more substance and class to it while embracing tradition and utilizing the modern genre blend of different bands along the way. So in the context or the analogy of a living organism, it's understanding what works. It wants to add a little bit more substance to that, contribute a little bit to the food chain, but not pretend to be like a chameleon, right? It doesn't need to blend in. It doesn't need to blend in. It comes from a lineage, right? Abominable Putridity and that of Beneath the Massacre. Those are some pretty prominent bands. Those are probably some apex predators in the slam scene. So it doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to put itself out there and really hunt down for a mate. Maybe it's just recognized as the ideal mate in the food chain. So then in that way, classy, modernized, and with as much substance as possible without breaking away from brutal death metal too much. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to put it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
sick.
it.
Quote that for your future website. That could be fun. I'd love to see it. So, as we continue part 2, gentlemen, of the Anatomy Crosscast, this would be where Under the Skin falls into. So, as per all of the incarnations of Under the Skin before, this is track by track lyrical analysis for any and all lyrical substance there is to be dissected. Any fungus you can see inside of gaping gaping open wounds. This is where we really get into the nitty gritty. We kind of stimulate some nerves, make the victim, make whoever's on the table, for goodness sake, flinch a little bit from the pain, but ultimately it needs to be done. It's like disinfecting a wound, right? And this is not to say that, the album is a wound, but as per the dissection, right? We're trying to get rid of a sickness and understand the sickness, understand this disgustingly good record that I have yet to listen to. So can I really say disgustingly good? I don't know. I don't know yet, but I will learn soon. But it is a slam brutal death metal record. So before we get started, of course, I have to ask the question. Do y'all think that Innominous Feast of Decay needs an under the skin lobotomy, a dissection where we crack open the flesh? And do y'all think that it has enough narrative to be dissected track by track? Or would you prefer to center in and focus on a tumor, the main problem, the main infection of the wound, with a single song?
Oh, so one single song or all the songs?
Yes.
That's so all the songs that could be really too long.
Right.
Take a much time.
Yes.
So we can pick 1, 2, 3 songs if you wanted, but
Yeah, it's up to you.
yeah, honestly, yeah.
It is
I
up to
think
you,
that-
doctor. You are the main surgeon. You decide what we do next.
Yeah, honestly, a few songs could work. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
Well, doctor, proceed. Proceed. We have to save the patient. Which songs?
Hey, give them some slam. Quickly now.
You get him some slam quickly. I love that. That's going to be an edit for sure. And that's why the anatomy part of it is so much fun, because you can play around with this shit a little bit. So, what is doctor? What's the first track?
I don't know. Maybe we've done a lyrics video recently
Okay.
on the second song of the album, Slaughtered Sons on a Platter.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the legend of Atre. That's old Greek legend.
Ooh.
So yeah, yeah, that works. But I got a lot of different songs that I loved for the lyrics. Bloodsucked Royalty is good too. Father of the Landless is good too. So I don't know what to choose.
So
So,
should we
okay.
listen to the song
Doctor,
first, or
doctor, we have to make a decision soon. The patient is dying. So, as far as the songs go, what do you think your fans would want to hear about the most that does not have a lyric video?
oh?
That doesn't
Ah.
matter. Oh,
Je prends laquelle du coup? I'm speaking French.
uh,
Bloodsuck, non, je sais pas. Quelle
Bloodsucked. There will be a video clip on Bloodsucked Royalties, so maybe another
Another
one.
one. Another one.
Quickly, doctor, quickly.
Maybe Father of the Landless.
Okay. What is it about? What is it about? We need to figure it out. What's going on with the patient? Like.
So, do you need the lyrics for this or?
Probably, but what I can do is I can pull them up right here because we have a surgery to do. This guy's about to fucking flatline. It's getting out of hand. He's about to die. So we need to get the lyrics up for sure. Quickly, I'll try to pull them up right now. Father of the fucking.
Father of the Landless.
Father of the landless. Quickly, get the defibrillator. Malum process, not the manium process, man. Okay. Father. No, father. Lyrics. So, most importantly, whilst I'm pulling these lyrics up, what is a good way to summarize this track? What's so special about Father of the Landless that you decided upon it?
That's a song about Jean the Landless, and I think it's an interesting song because that talks about a guy that got a lot of problem with his father, and we know that in the metal scene, a lot of people got some problem with with their father. So with this guy, his father was very rude. He always eating us for free, eating the son, sorry, for free. So I think that's interesting because that's some kind of vengeance from Jean because the hate of his father just make him mad and he just totally lose his mind and just kill a lot of different people. Only to prove to his father that no, he can have some land, you know. That's why we call him Jean the Landless.
Okay, interesting.
Because he was never the king of a land, and his father's just making jokes about him, and so yeah, all of this hate through his entire childhood was very very particular for him. So yeah, it becomes so fucking mad.
Okay, and if it wasn't this song, what would be a good second place song to do the same dissection for? Say that you found you plucked out the wrong tumor that turned out to be like the beginning of the intestines. How the fuck did you get a certification to be a doctor? We have to make these last second changes. We have to save this person if we can. But what would the second place song be that you think deserves to be spoken about that has a story
Huh.
behind it, and what's the
Uh,
story?
there is one particular song in the album that is Blade Inside, featuring my brother Charlie from Soul Splitter.
Ooh,
And this song is the only one that does not talk about historical characters. That's only pure hate and pure violence. So that's just the story of a guy that did some horrible things to a woman.
I see.
And that's really free, and that's just some kind of that's the kind of song that's just here to evacuate in.
Uh-huh.
And just yeah, you got some negative vibes. Okay, so I had someone, I had a girl or a boy or anything, some people at works or anything. So yeah, Blade Inside is her.
I see. I just put it together too
Yeah.
that Lou is wearing a Soul Splitter shirt. I didn't recognize the
Yep.
logo before.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
my hair
that's
are,
good friend of
well,
the of us.
hiding.
Oh,
I knew we were going to talk about them sooner or later in this interview because they were, I mean, they were going to be at least in the shoutout because Charlie is also one of my best friends and they are one of the most prominent band in our local scene right now. So yeah, I put their shirts and it's good looking shirts too.
hell yeah. No, I like the olive. Is that olive green I'm seeing? Am I seeing that correctly?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's
Okay.
some army green.
Sweet. Well, in that case, we did end up dissecting and, doing the under the skin approach for at least 2 songs, right? So that will be the end of this under the skin session. And at a later point, if y'all want us to do an under the skin track by track lyrical analysis bit separate from this crosscast, put down below in the comments in nominous, and it doesn't really matter if you mispronounce it or misspell it, just innominous. Okay, go ahead and comment that down below in the YouTube upload, and I will go ahead and talk with Baptiste about doing track by track lyrical dissection for the whole damn thing. Otherwise, they're absolutely right. It's already getting pretty late for them. It's getting late for me. So we got to move on. But if the demand is there, I'm sure they'd be willing to make it happen.
Yeah.
So next would be
Yeah, of course.
point 5 or topic 5 inside of part 2, the reincarnation. If this release wasn't an album, what would it be? Examples: it could be a horror film, it could be a book, a video game, an artifact, or maybe even a cursed VHS tape. I know you guys are big into, well, very frustrating and fatiguing video games. You're into serial killer shit. So I think it's a pretty easy choice, but it's a 50-50 nonetheless. So let's see what you guys have to say.
Mm. So, yeah, if we stay on the DA, it did probably be a history book with morbid anecdotes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
anecdotes.
what is English for anecdotes. It works in English. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, a book where every character we talk about will have their war thugs and the fear described. You know, because yeah, the text I don't know. Yeah, if we had a text for the intro, that's right. That's what you asked.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, something like men are what they are, and they all rot from the inside. See how greed, avarice, perversion, and power are just the tree of which the fruits of every evil grow. Yeah, something like that.
Hell yeah. I
That could
like
be the
that.
book of Evil Dead, actually.
Yeah.
You know, where they
True.
open the book and they release the fucking demon.
Yeah, that's very, very true. I mean, after all, that's kind of what the culture of slam and brutal death metal play into. Like most of them could be horror films. Some of them are inspired by horror films, and some of them can be as goofy and nonsensical as horror films as well. So just those two corners of culture and media, they blend together almost seamlessly. That's why, putting horror icons on a band t-shirt, it's, yeah, sure, it's copyrighted, whatever, but you can make it work and not have it infringe too much or be just forced in that aesthetic. So I like that answer. Lou, do you have any answer separate from them as far as what you think
Uh,
this album could
I
be
mean,
if it wasn't them?
I have picked the other one because I'm not into horror movies. So to me, it's I see a strong parallel between Soul's game and the music we do because it's difficult to get into. It's not how do you say? It's not beginner friendly. You know, if you're beginning to listen to metal and you start to listen to brutal death, slam, and all that shit, it's not very welcoming. But there is a sense of reward that you get. In this game, you're going to have to face a lot of difficulties, but at some point, there's going to be very beautiful. It is the one of the most artistically rewarding games to the beautiful games, and I think there's this thing with with this album is that you first get 4 or 5 songs that are the most brutal out of all of them, and you're starting to get to the second half, you're rewarded with more melodic stuff, and it's starting to get more beautiful. There are some sunlight and clouds here and there, but you really get to invest yourself in the listening to notice them. So I think there's this parallel, but I think the Baptiste answer was quite good too.
Good. And really, Lou, I do appreciate that. I appreciate the way that you communicate things. I might have had difficulty at first, hearing through the accent because it's a very, very rich and wonderful accent. But despite that, I will say, in comparison to me not understanding you the first time, you have a very, very colorful and vibrant way of speaking, and I just wanted to offer that compliment to you. Now, of course, gentlemen, everyone in chat here has been speaking very well, but just the way that you talk, the way that you communicate, yeah, like I can tell that that's like, this is how conversations happen between y'all. And even if, for example, y'all are pissed at Lou, he'll just explain why, hey, I don't think this is the way that we should be reacting towards each other. And he just he washes that negativity down. He calms it down. But I don't know. That's just that's the impression I'm getting.
I'm not so smooth. I mean, I'm smooth because it's good vibes, but I'm like everyone. I can be pissed off and I can be negative,
Yes.
and I can be a dick too.
Right. He's like, don't fucking make me mad, dude.
No, I mean, it can be pretty difficult to deal with me when I disagree with something, and that's something I'm trying to work on lately.
Right. No worries. That's what the drum set's for. Beat the shit out of it. Get all your anger out. That's the whole point. That's one of the points of being a drummer, eh? If not, just like, wow, I really want to get my arms bigger, and this set is gonna get my arms bigger. Like, if not that, it's a good medium for frustration, I would imagine.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially because in the Malum process, there's a parity between speed and technicality, but there is a good half of the songs that are really, really slow and hard hitting, and you can really that's what that's the part I prefer to play because you can. It's so fucking hard and it's awesome.
He's like, now I can really fucking smack it.
Yeah. I have really all the time in the world to reach my hour.
I love that. Okay. Well,
Okay. Honestly, man, we play with the heart. So we are not that kind of band that want that the music sounds perfect. We got a lot of imperfection where we play on stage and everything, but we play with heart, and that's the most important thing for us to keep this shit. And the, honestly, the most important thing is that we are our friends, and we just wanted to show violence, but we are just lovely guys with everyone.
Just
But
trying to make it organic. I don't know if it
yeah,
makes sense, but
something, yeah, we are very
Yeah.
an organic band, you
yeah.
know.
hell yeah.
Yeah, we're
Well,
not playing for the musicians in the audience who are there to judge our technical abilities. We're there to play for the rest of the audience who want to have a good time and some energy on stage.
yeah.
That's what we do.
Well,
and we're not good enough yet to play for the musicians.
well, better to be an organic band than a genetically engineered band, I guess, or some shit. I was like, I should probably try to get that out as a joke, but that sounded so fucking stupid. But question or part 6, or I guess topic 6, the instinct. The instinct. Why did An Ominous Feast of Decay become an album instead of an EP?
We released our first EP in 2020. So it was important for us to make the project concrete with an album.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really important to us because it's representing part of each of us, and yeah, the album it's like I'm not sure about the word in English, but concretization, comment on dit?
Succeed.
Congregation?
Combination.
I'm not.
Like a church,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm not sure for the English word. Sorry.
I think what it tries to mean is that that the EP was like
Yeah.
some songs blend in, with more influences, and I think the album is more like consistent and it has a continuity.
Okay,
So that's why we wanted to make an album.
yeah. I think the word that Baptiste you might have been looking for was amalgamation. Maybe? Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know this word, man.
Well, right. Amalgamation, I like the way I've usually seen it, it's like what they describe one of those monsters with a whole bunch of different things like just melted and smashed into it. So I mean, an amalgamation then is like kind of like the human centipede, as gross as that is. That would be considered an amalgamation. So perhaps then what you guys wanted for the Malum process and Anonymous Feast of Decay to be was an amalgamation and a compilation of everything that you've worked on so far, the different musical inspirations, but all concentrated into one, well, eventually physical CD. That's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's
yeah,
that's a good word, man.
there you go.
You got it.
Sweet.
But yeah, it didn't become, as far as I'm aware, it didn't become an album. It was always an album. From the moment I joined the band, it was never a question of making another EP. It was the next target was always going to be the first album. And so we worked all the songs with that in mind. We didn't decide halfway through that. Because we are all pretty old school in the band when it comes to listening to music, and we like the album format. We listen to full albums. it will be difficult for us it's difficult for us to adapt to the new paradigm of the music industry, where it's single after single, EPs and albums are becoming a very rare thing. And we old school. That's just it. They made an EP, and no, we were going to make an album. There was no questioning about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I think that an album is a very important creative part for a band, because you can create a really complete artistic thing with an album, with a complete album. For us, the EP is just so this is what we got, and that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the album, you got, that kind of spirits where you need to communicate something, to
Yeah.
concretize something. Yeah, concretize. I don't know. Is it
Set in
Realize, I
stone.
think.
realize? Yeah,
Yeah.
Realize.
Like an
Realize. That's
achievement.
a better
Realize.
word. That's a better word.
yeah,
That's a
realize that
wonderful
word.
word.
That could work. Yeah.
Well, I like that. Okay. And I mean that is important because I mean, speaking from me personally, someone who wants to one day copy the distant process, and if you distant from the Netherlands, right? How at least during their Aeons Oblivion cycle, they did EP, 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 and then basically a super album with a whole bunch of different features on it. They zoomed out from the very tiny corner of the art. I know that's what I want to do, because I think that would be a great way to combine the marketing aspects of releasing a smaller thing, something that's maybe a little bit more cost effective, and then maybe like 1 or 2 EPs, and then enough songs after that combined and smashed together all of those ideas that do work together, because maybe that was a 2 to 3 year chunk of time. Pardon me. And that's the ideas that were floating around. Maybe there's no consistent theme, but it's a time lapse or a time capsule. Time capsule is the word. So that's at least how I plan to write. Everybody's going to have their own approach because, I mean, hell, they're investing their own money into it. But as I said to the guest of our newest episode coming out tomorrow, with Medusa, a MySpace deathcore revival band from Florida, put a little bit more thought into your creation before you invest thousands of dollars into gear, studio time, record label contracts, touring. Like, there's so many layers to it now, and it's all so expensive, unfortunately. But as time goes on, it's like, well, supply and demand, and having to pay all those people that create and manufacture the tools for your disposal, like, yeah, it's going to get expensive, but it's worth it. So it's like, for me, rule 1 is just put a little bit more thought into your creation, and even with the marketing strategy, catch people off guard, but give them a reason to come back. I think you guys have the right approach. It's definitely more traditional, but like, I know I love listening to an album instead of an EP. An EP feels less confident than an album too. That's another thing for me. How do all these songs smash together? That's usually the question I'm asking if I'm doing a front to back album listening session. What shared theme do they all have? Is it historical figures that went insane over time? Is it a medieval theme and just it works well with the colors? These are the questions that I usually ask when I'm listening to an album, similar then to Anonymous Feast of Decay, and this is just by looking at the album cover itself. So, before we get too close to the end of this session, because we are getting there for sure. I know you guys are tired, so we will be wrapping up soon, and then you can go to bed if you want for a couple hours, or hopefully you have tomorrow off, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I woke up at 8, so no, I'm not going to sleep after.
You prepared.
Yeah.
And we are back. We are going directly into Slingshot, and this will be the last set of questions for this lovely first Anatomy Crosscast with not only a band from France, but our first brutal death metal band from France, as there are some other artists like Gojira, right? Not that we're going to get them on anytime soon. That would be insane. But, you know, that there are other more prominent, more preferred genres of metal in the country of France. So we're here to attack a niche market and tether to as many bands in this country that cater towards these heavier genres as possible. But now we finalize this Anatomy Crosscast, most likely 132, 133, we'll see, with Slingshot. First question. Hopefully we can get everyone to agree on this. What's one song for TAC's greatest hits playlist that y'all would want to see on there? From your discography. Should have detailed that more.
I was asking what's the question.
He's like Gojira song.
No. I let the others.
Right. So you want us to pick one song?
Yeah, go ahead
Should
and go ahead and pick one song from an ignominious Feast of Decay.
Honestly, the song that represents the band and all of influences is Bloodsoaked Royalty, I think. Yeah, that's why we made a video clip on it, and yeah, that is not released anymore. Yeah.
Are we all agreed?
But yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of
I think
royalty
it's
is cool.
funny because it's one of the more technical songs and one of the, dare I say, more accessible on the record.
Yeah.
It's good song. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun to play on the.
I'm surprised we didn't end up mentioning one of the songs that we dissected during the anatomy segment. But interesting. Okay. I look forward to listening to Blood-Soaked Royalty, which then, to quote Lou, is a great culmination of what the Malum process is, as well as something that might be more easily accessible or something that caters to a broader fan base in the brutal death metal world. I look forward to listening to that. What's next?
I'd say it's one of the least brutal death. It's more the deathcore meets slam meets a lot of things, but it's really not the most brutal death song on the album. It's really it's its own thing, but it's really a cool song. I love this one. It's one of those that we worked together. This one we jammed a lot on rehearsals. All the songs that have been either written by Drew or written by me, and a bunch of them are jams that we did at rehearsals. And this one was a jam, and it turned out pretty differently. And it's a great song. It's the one where every member of the band put an idea in there. It's not one person.
Oh yeah. Okay. So in that case, we have from Ignominious Feast of Decay, we have Blood-Soaked Royalty. We'll be placing that on TAC's Greatest Hits, a playlist that everyone on public domain, on Spotify and Apple Music alike, have access to. And for every song on that playlist, that is the song that was recommended by the guest band to introduce you to their discography. Maybe you don't have the time to watch my front-to-back album listening sessions, where not only do I listen to these albums, but until our tariffs drop down here in the U.S., right? Unless it's a U.S. local band, when it is a U.S. local band, if I like the album or EP enough, I'm going to start making merch orders to offer my appreciation. Hopefully bands will be into that as well. But until then, right, there's that one song that the band themselves recommended. That's the one they would want you to hear first, at least in reference to the album or the release that we promoted, right? So, next question, second to last one. I promise, we're almost there, boys. Shoutouts. Who do y'all want to shout out in reference to this cycle with an ominous Feast of Decay?
So yeah, besides the member of the band,
Yes.
of course. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to us.
Maybe. Okay. But
Charlie?
yeah, our friend Charlie
Yeah.
from Soul Speed because yeah he I recorded the vocals on the Charlie studio and yeah he helped us to make this album a little bit. So yeah, we can talk about Charlie, and I don't know.
The previous members, actually, or the
Yes,
people who work on the
Yeah.
album, I think
That's a good answer.
previous bassist or previous drummers,
Yeah.
actually.
yeah, our previous drummers, yeah, was really nice to us. So we got some different problem, but yeah, he inspired us some different thing, particularly for the video. But yeah, yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, if not the members at this moment, because that's too easy. Okay, that's too easy. Then those who came before.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
pretty good answer too. Because like when I think of even just the human anatomy, right? Let alone spiders, insects, arachnids, as they continue to grow, they have to shed their skin. For a band, I would compare that to maybe members having to leave, having to do their own thing,
Yeah,
going off to different bands.
No.
That doesn't mean that they weren't part of that organism's existence. It's just that they were only there temporarily to keep it together until it continued growing into its full potential. So I would regard the former members
Yeah,
as
so
the
true.
exoskeletons of it, but they're still important.
I forgot someone.
Oh.
I forgot someone. This man, yeah. This is Phil from the band Unhallowed Deliverance. I don't know if you know this band.
No, but that sounds sick.
From yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
man,
Unhallowed Deliverance from Germany. They play some tech death, and this is drummers of the band, and he just plays on drums for Malum for two important show, particularly in our most important show that was in Switzerland last year.
Okay.
And yeah, he just saved us because we don't had any drummer, and he just played the parts so easily, and he was perfect for us. So
Yeah.
he
Oh, wait,
just
okay.
helped us so much in Switzerland and in Germany. Yeah, to play some gig and just live some incredible moments.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and this is the entire band, Unhallowed Deliverance, are really good friends, and they really helped us. Yeah, we can talk about Marco too from Switzerland because he was the first guy that's just uh, contacting us for playing show across another country than France. So yeah, yeah,
Shout out to these people, yeah.
yeah. Shout out to this.
Hell yeah.
And
Shout
we
out
have
to
really
them.
like to keep Phil as a drummer, but
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. If could have joined the band, that would have been so awesome. But it's busy, man. I'd like personally, I'd like to shout out Loic and Christo because they were the members that were already there when I joined the band, and they did a lot. Loic wrote a song on the album, and they have new bands. So I'd like to shout out, yeah, Charlie's band, Sospiter, Loic band, Vaner, and Christo's band, Kagora, because they're amongst those. They're not just my friends' bands. They are amongst the best bands in local scene, and they are all in different styles. And I think they make really, really cool music. And yeah, all the people Baptiste have said, shout out to them also.
Oh yeah, no, that's a lot of people, and collectively, this is a lot of personality that I do think I will want to take time to get familiar with in the future, as I continue to branch the Anatomy Crosscast into the deeper roots, into the soil of France. It is my mission, again, to tell the story and have these interactions with as many bands from as many countries as possible. Even if it takes another 5 years to do so, I don't mind. I just want to make sure by the end of those 5 years, I've at least interviewed a band from every superpower country, and at least a band from every country, period. Because it's not that hard to do. You just got to continue stretching out your wings. You got to continue ignoring social walls for the most part, but keeping in account time zones, like as per this fucking session. So yeah, a lot of great artists, I'm sure, that have been mentioned so far throughout early morning for you guys, reaching into the late afternoon for me. So, final question, which I think is very fitting. Who should appear next on TAC in the future, and why should they be dissected the same way that the Malum process was tonight? So who and why should be on the show next?
Legion could have been fun, but it's
E-
not exist anymore.
Yeah. Des groupes français.
Qui? Oui, good.
Yeah,
Would you have-
maybe more French bands. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that our friends from Kanine
Oh, Kanine?
should be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Kanine.
Because they are very chill guys, very awesome guys. Honestly, very sweet. Kanine, Embrace Your Punishment. So the band, there was called Devour the Fetish, but not now. That is just Devour. There is a Cryogenical Exision too.
Send me a link
some
for all
more
these in the
bands.
Instagram DMs, please. I might mishear some of this with that rich, beautiful accent that you guys have. I might mishear some of these.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So far, what is it? K9, Embrace Your Punishment. Those were kind of the only two that I heard. I heard like Veneer,
Devour.
Devour. Okay.
Yeah. Devour, and Cryogenical Excision.
Cryogenical Excision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. 4 bands
Yeah,
mentioned
they're
so
really
far.
good bands.
Soul Splitter, would that be a recommendation, being that that's your buddy, your brother?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you do also hardcore stuff, yes.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. No, we're definitely looking to branch out as much as possible. I mean, hell, eventually one day I want this show to host Southern Gothic dark folk, basically country artists that have a little bit more Gothic, alt swing to them. Pop punk bands. Like, I want this to be a true counterculture show, and to be a true counterculture show, you can't just be doing brutal death metal and slam bands forever. That's just not the case. So the sooner we branch out, the better. So then we have 5 recommendations, and if, despite the conversation that we're having about it right now, and after you guys get some rest and have some time to recharge, please send me a link for every single one of these bands. That way we can post it on the story after I've also announced the conclusion of recording for the first date session with the Malum process. And then right after this session, I'll be listening to the album, most likely with some Black Ops 7 gameplay in the background, maybe even zombies, we'll see. And then that'll be a whole ass thing on my main YouTube channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we have 5 recommendations. I think we're good to go. I mean, I already have some French bands in mind that I've been reaching out to for years, and we just haven't been able to fit them into the schedule, that being Hurricane and God's Farm. God's Farm I've been really interested in. I don't know why, but they just seem really fun, and they seems like they would be really, really fun to have on the show. So with that being said, it is currently, holy shit, 7 p.m. on the 29th of May for me, And for these guys, well, we're getting there. It's getting pretty late.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. Mother
Yeah.
fucker.
30th of May, yeah.
My bad, guys. All right. Well, hopefully you guys better like this session. If you get to the end of this Anatomy Crosscast, please comment, "We love the French," or something like that. Just something out of left pocket, something without too much context. We love the French. Okay. This marks the end of our first French Crosscast. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to Lou, Drew, and Baptiste of the Malum process for staying up this late with me, for one, but for two, allowing me to start new roots in a new nation. It's always a pleasure to be able to do this. It's always a pleasure to tell the story about these new countries that I probably won't personally travel to for a long time, but maybe through this show we can one day. That'd be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, and everything possibly in between, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.